Welcome to the Malaysia Scholars of Korea public seminar, where in tumultuous times we wish to celebrate collaborations. The ASEAN summits held in Kuala Lumpur in May and October, they have come and they have gone. By all accounts, the 2025 summits have been a resounding success. And it is no exaggeration to say that Malaysia's 2025 chairmanship is among the highest of the so-called crowning achievements of ASEAN as a regional bloc. Now, to begin with, there was the unprecedented convening of the inaugural ASEAN GCC China Summit, what would be reckoned as a geo-economic convergence already seen by pundits as a tough act to follow. Then there was a presence of political luminaries from Brazil, from South Africa, as guests of the chair. Their participation projected impressive optics, particularly in conveying the message of positive global South collaboration with ASEAN. But any critical assessment of the achievements of Malaysia's 2025 ASEAN Chairmanship needs to be viewed in the context of the inherent challenges in navigating the treacherous waters of superpower rivalry. Simmering over the cauldron of the consequential tensions are the ever-recurring issues of the fate of, for example, the East Asia Summit, and to a lesser extent, the ASEAN Regional Forum. Now, further, there needs to be a separate perspective of viewing the state of play of ASEAN's long-term visions, in particular, the Community Vision 2045, and how this is being impacted by the everflow and overflow of the dynamic geopolitical underpinnings. Now, as for the East Asia Summit, prior to the October Summit, it wouldn't be unreasonable to consider its trajectory as static, if not an entire failure. But thanks to Malaysia's ASEAN chairmanship, we saw finally, with the October Summit, the Kuala Lumpur Declaration of Peace and Stability, the very first joint statement in 3 years by the East Asia Summit. As regards the response to dynamic geopolitical underpinnings amidst regional shifts, Malaysia's chairmanship also saw leaders gathered to purposefully discuss economic integration in a year beset with tariffs and increasing bifurcation in frontier technology. And this we see being attested to by the first physical RCEP Leaders Summit, as well as a substantial conclusion of the ASEAN Digital Economy Framework. To this, the ASEAN-Korea relationship has not lagged behind. And this is crucial. From policies such as the new Southern Policy and the Korea-ASEAN Solidarity Initiative, the ASEAN ROK Summit had solidified the comprehensive strategic partnership for a multi-dimensional strategic development in ASEAN. It is noteworthy that while once the ASEAN-Korea relation was concentrated only in economic activity and cultural exchanges, today we are looking at energized collaborations on defense, cooperation on enhanced law enforcement, and of course on energy transitions. And true to the theme of inclusivity, ASEAN welcomed the 11th new member into its fold, Timor-Leste, plugging the young nation into the network of ASEAN's trade agreements and technical cooperation. Rather than being sucked into the vortex of weakening multilateral institutions, Timor-Leste's formal accession is a testament to ASEAN's undiminished agency to concretize regional alignments to work towards collective development and shared prosperity. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, it may seem counterintuitive to celebrate cooperation when the world is caught in a quagmire of conflict and competition. To the north of us is the Thai-Cambodia skirmish. I'm using the word skirmish in a very, very context that would not seem to be exaggerating what it is. We already have a serious problem, but the point here is that to our west is a ceasefire struggling to hold, and while Europe is embroiled in hot warfare that has pulled even North Korea to the front lines. Peace, as we have learned through years of conflict, is hard-earned. Despite the initial success of the KL or Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords, thanks no less to the valiant efforts of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, buttressed, of course, by the forceful support of the Trump administration, we have to accept that even earnestly concluded peace accords do not guarantee lasting tranquility unless the parties themselves are prepared, heart and soul, and have the true political will to win the peace come hell or high water. In the turbulent environment, meantime, trade is experiencing geopolitical fragmentation. The war for critical minerals, bifurcating semiconductor value chains and tariffs have congregated powers within their own orbits. Therefore, in the turbulent arena of geopolitics, semantics plays a crucial role in setting the narrative. Where once, quote-unquote, collaboration implies a shared vision and the interplay of resources and efforts to produce a positive outcome, today, however, it could at best signify selected alignment, driven by national interests and national competition, sometimes leading to even alienation. I believe that we are on the same page with Korea as to what purport of collaboration we subscribe to. This is the vital importance of today's theme, to celebrate collaborations where it has occurred, but be consistently reminded that every effort must not be made in vain. This year, Malaysia and South Korea chaired ASEAN and APEC, with sessions and bilateral conversations aimed to stabilize regional discord, be it through peace deals, be it through trade agreements, or symbolic handshakes. Every step that upholds multilateral engagement is a moment to celebrate efforts for regional stability, while sounds of major power clashes echo in the background. Today, discussing the ASEAN Chairmanship, ASEAN-ROK relationship, and impact of administrative changes such as the US on the region are the sessions lined up to stimulate conversations later on. Has Malaysia achieved its goal to craft its image in the international arena? How has the ASEAN-ROK relationship progressed for strategic and practical applications? What is the impact of tariffs brandished in President Trump's second sitting in office, and where should further collaborations explore to stabilize relations for national and regional prosperity? These are the questions up for consideration, or we say these are the morsels of consideration for today's discussion. And I invite you to be inquisitive, to be interactive, and sometimes to be a get-out-of-my-face mode. Yet, especially, we mark the milestones for this year's chairmanship, but acknowledge that more can always be done. In closing, let me take a moment to express my profound thanks to Ambassador Yeo, and particularly to the Korean Embassy, for its steadfast, tremendous, warm, and robust support of the Malaysia scholars on Korea programs, not to mention, of course, the tremendously positive and crucial role of the network scholars and our South Korea experts. I thank you for spending your time in the last month of 2025 here. Terima kasih.